I know people who say they've left the church because the church was filled with hypocrites. And that always bothers me because if you look at scripture, Jesus actually preached against hypocrites and the hypocrisy of religious leaders more than anyone. But there's hope for hypocrites, and I want to talk to you about it today in your morning cup of inspiration. The word hypocrite comes from the first century Greek word describing the theater. Hypocrites were actually the actors on the stage. And there was a huge theater that was built in a town called Sepphoris, which was less than an hour's walk from Nazareth, where Jesus grew up. So the fact that he worked with his father, Joseph, as a carpenter meant he was probably very familiar with the theater. He might have built some of the stage props when he was growing up for the theater. But he preached against hypocrisy. And when you think of an actor, someone's playing a part that's not really them. And these actors used to wear masks on the stage to show the character they were playing. So they were hiding behind the mask. And we read, well, before I want to read scripture, I want to tell you there was a story about an unscrupulous businessman who said he was going to travel to the Mideast, climb to the top of Mount Sinai, and read the 10 Commandments. And supposedly Mark Twain said to this man, "Why don't you stay in Boston and keep them instead? Keep the commandments." So people that know the commandments, they can preach them and recite them to you, but they don't keep them. Boy, Jesus called them out, and they were called the scribes and the Pharisees. The Pharisees, I think of them as saying, "Oh, I'm very fair, you see, or aren't I fair? I see." They loved the fact that they had these religious robes and they had places of importance. But Jesus says in Matthew chapter 23, verse 24, "Ye blind guides, which strain at a gnat and swallow a camel." So you're worried about the little tiny things that people do, the little mistakes, but they have these huge mistakes in their own life. Verse 25, "Woe unto you, scribes and Pharisees, hypocrites! For ye make clean the outside of the cup and of the platter, but within they are full of extortion and excess." See, Jesus knew we had an inside and an outside, and he was more concerned about our inside. In verse 26, "Thou blind Pharisee, cleanse first that which is within the cup and platter, that the outside of them may be clean also. Woe unto you, scribes and Pharisees, hypocrites!" He uses that word again. "For ye are like unto whited sepulchres, which indeed appear beautiful outward, but are within full of dead man's bones and of all uncleanness. Even so ye also outwardly appear righteous unto men, but within ye are full of hypocrisy and iniquity." Jesus used that word hypocrite 17 times. He preached against it. He doesn't want us to be hypocrites. He doesn't want us to say one thing but do another in our lives. Our public life should match our personal life. Who we project should be who we truly are. So let's project Jesus. Let's project genuine forgiveness and humility and not be a hypocrite. I hope that inspires you, and I'll see you soon for another morning cup of inspiration.